Rolling. Alright, Brian, so I got your assessment, and I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about that, and it was good.
Yeah.
It was good. But yeah, so you've never taken lessons before?
Not officially. I've had a couple people that have tried to teach me, but didn't really know how to teach. So they would show me a few things, and then they would go off and start ripping.
Yeah.
And then I would get totally lost in the dust.
Yeah, that's typically how it goes. But you know, some people stick with it more than others, or what? There's a million different factors.
Right.
Okay. So, what have you learned, or do you feel like you retained anything?
Not a great deal. No. Like, I got taught the beginning of the song at one point, and totally forget everything about it. So.
Okay.
Pretty much a blank slate.
Okay.
No bad habits.
You're just looking for a place to start.
Right.
Okay. Well, I can definitely do that. So, let me ask you this. If you could do anything that you wanted with music, regardless of what you think you're capable of, or quote-unquote natural talent, or anything like that, you could do anything with music, be any kind of guitar player, and, you know, this might change over time.
Right.
You know, a lot of things change over time, but for right now, if you could do anything you wanted with music, or on the guitar, what would you do?
I was thinking about it today, and I would want to be able to effectively read notes and learn how to play a song if I sat down and looked at the chord progression or whatever. But I really feel like I would like to be able to just kind of make things up on the spot. And
okay, so you'd like to learn to improvise,
right?
And be able to apply that to different styles,
right?
So okay, all right. And then you would like to learn to play songs.
Yeah, like be able to read tabs.
Okay, yeah, and that's you know, a lot of the time teachers start students out on reading notation, and that's, I mean, if you want to make someone quit in a very short amount of time,
right.
You should do that. But that's not what I want to do with my students. And you know, it's not always that way, but 99.9% of the time, that's what happens. Because you don't even know, you can't even do anything with it yet. You know, even if you know what this note means on the staff, you know, you can't really, you're just not, trust me, you're not going to be able to do much with it, which you know that. But anyway, so, learning tab is actually, it's pretty simple. And the thing about it, and I'm not knocking music notation, you know, it's great, but for beginners, it's just not necessary. You know, you can really frustrate someone and make them really frustrated very easily. And with tab, it's just much more visual and really a lot easier to just get a grasp on to begin with. So anyway, okay. So we got learning to read tab, you know, so you can learn to play songs.
Right.
And learning to improvise. Alright. Beyond that, okay, let's say that you learned some songs, and you got some songs under your belt, and you keep learning songs, and you learn how to improvise. Okay, what would those things give you? What would you do then?
It'd be kind of a creative outlet, and for a while there we had like music before our church group or whatever, so being able to use it.
So you think you'd like to perform at church?
Yeah.
You think that'd be cool?
Yeah. Like,
so that's
having a consistent person has always been an issue for us. So
oh, really?
To be able to be like a pinch hitter, or even just like be able to pull a guitar out when people are hanging out and start playing.
Yeah.
Because that kind of brings people together.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's the power of music. I've, you know, been brought together with all kinds of people
Yeah.
I never in a million years would have dreamed that I would have been friends with because of music.
Right.
Or maybe at the time I wouldn't have thought that I'd been friends with, or in the past didn't think I'd be friends with those kinds of people. Anyway, so that's awesome. And that's the thing, Brian, is those goals that you stated. You had larger goals behind those goals,
Right.
and that's what's important to get in touch with. Is the big, it is good to focus on the smaller things, but we also, for all kinds of reasons, and a big one is just motivation and staying inspired, is keeping the larger goals in sight and actually being able to see the progress leading up to that, and all these other things that we plan to do, and how they're going to funnel into that bigger goal. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So improvising, and then you maybe like to get into some songwriting.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, you said a creative outlet. I mean,
Right.
Speaking from experience, it's been a huge creative outlet for me. It didn't happen overnight, but I mean, music has saved my life. My own, being able to create my own music, in addition to listening to music that means a lot to me, has really saved my life in a number of occasions. Giving me hope, or just taking my mind off things, or just being some kind of release or an escape. Any and all of those things. All right. So that's and again, that's the power of music. It's awesome. All right. So do you feel like you might have any goals beyond that, or goals that would maybe be tied in with that? So I'll give you an example. So, improvising and learning songs, those are kind of things that they can tie in together, but those are things that you could kind of be working on, at the same time. And then the larger goal is, performing at church and all that kind of thing. Do you have any other things that might tie in with that? Maybe you'd like to perform at an open mic, or maybe you would like to try and get a group of guys together. Maybe you and Mike can, try and, form something. Whether you think you could or couldn't do that, if you did, do you think that would be cool?
I mean, given the right factors.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
That'd be.
All right. So I'll stop there, but you can think more about that stuff. But I'm just kind of trying to get you in that mindset of, looking ahead and seeing the things that we're doing now, here and now. Again, moving towards those goals. And so you're not, because that is absolutely important. That's one big reason why people aren't motivated or really inspired to do things a lot of times, because they can't actually see it and know that it is moving forward in the direction that they want to be going. And yeah, not just with guitar playing, with just about anything that you're doing in life. All right. So, but that's great though. So we got some good stuff. That's awesome. Okay. So let's actually get down to the technical side of things.
Okay.
And I'm gonna just hand you the guitar.
Okay.
And don't be intimidated by this.
Okay.
But I truly do not know what you do know and what you don't know.
Okay.
That's because I've never seen you play guitar before. I've never, I just don't know that. Okay, so I've had people come in before and say, yeah, I'm pretty much a beginner, and I don't know, I'm pretty much exactly what you said. I'm a clean slate, and then they start, playing chords and all this kind of thing. I'm like, whoa, you're not a total beginner. Or they go off and they start playing something. They may still be beginners, but not total beginners.
Right.
Because things like chords, those are things that are very difficult for, most chords are very difficult for beginning or total beginner guitar players. Anyway, So I just wanted to preface that. So I'm gonna hand you the guitar and just wing it. I just want to see, you know, if you do know anything. If I just handed this to you, or you picked up a guitar and you're at your friend's house and you were just messing around. I'm not expecting a show or anything like that. I just wanna see you do something. And if you can't do anything, that's fine too.